2007. And really what that did was afford an opportunity for Michigan businesses to come in.
Right.
And as we all know, cut and sew
Right.
it's certainly not in Michigan in terms of textile
Sure.
or clothing manufacturing, and very little, if any, in the United States, all offshore.
Right. Well, we have the largest, I think, the largest textile operation east of the Mississippi, north of the
Sure.
Mason-Dixon line.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
it's absolutely just incredible.
It is incredible.
And if you start taking a look at how we've been able to recycle this and reutilize things, I was over at Britton Banners, and they do the contracting for let's see, NCAA, NFL, Walt
Absolutely.
Disney World.
All those
And
banners.
all those banners.
All those vinyl banners, which you see, and you know, many would like to have. They've taken those and recycled those, and as you well know, it's called prior life.
Right.
You know, and from your law, we had a company like Britton Banners says, hey, we got an opportunity here, and so we convert those vinyl items into bags, into items that have sold across the state incredibly fast.
Right. And I thought it was just an amazing.
It's a wonderful story.
We had Paul was very kind and sent some down for our different Senate colleagues, and we were able to distribute those to our members, and they became a hot commodity. Because,
It is a hot commodity.
You know, so you'll see like the foot of an athlete.
Absolutely.
You'll see the ear of Mickey Mouse.
Or Bristol Speedway.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's a conversation piece as well as something that's functional,
Right.
and utilizing something that would obviously been thrown in a landfill.
Right. And so those are the types of things that I think are amazing. And then we've seen, there was another article I saw about, there was a women's, it was like a sort of a direct marketer that did kids apparel.
Actually, as a lead-in with your assistance, to Merrill Guerra, a woman who saw a need for young ladies, ages essentially 5 through 12, a bit oversized,
Right.
for clothing articles.
Right.
And so we hooked up, and we did a couple prototype items of clothing manufactured in our Kinross
Right.
facility in the UP. And from that evolved the first spring line of clothing for Merrill Guerra and
Wonderful.
her company called Real Kids. Now she's looking at local investors, a
Right.
local company, and we're doing the manufacturing, so she's not going overseas, offshore,
Isn't that
to
amazing?
have that done.
Well, I was talking with Director Caruso about this, and she's been very, very supportive
Absolutely.
of moving these forward, and the whole team in Kinross, whether it's Joyce Cram or the rest of the crew
Sure.
that's there.
Wonderful group.
I mean, they're just very entrepreneurially driven, and it's interesting to me that we have to restructure, because I get so concerned about everything manufactured in China, and we have this
Yes.
resource available to us, Vietnam or Malaysia, and we have this resource available to us.
Absolutely.
And so let's try and utilize that, because I think the thing that when you talk with the director and where she's looking at it is that when we did the study on this, we sell at our family's business, we sell these prison blue jeans.
Yes.
And they're made at the East Pendleton Correctional Facility. Now the studies that we saw was the recidivism rate was about a third less in those facilities, 25% less, because they were able to have a skill when they were finished up.
And not only a skill, they may not come out going back into textile
Right.
manufacturing. For one, is the reason it's here is because it's not on the outside.
Right.
But they've worked 6-8 hours a day. We've got
Right.
count and a few other obstacles,
Right.
but they've got a work ethic suddenly. They understand what it means to go to work, follow orders, and to perform a product. And the product that actually is servicing someone.
Correct.
Which is wonderful.
It's wonderful, and then when I was talking with Britain, they're trying to figure out, how do they continue this process going, and so I think there's some openness on this reentry program
Yes.
that you're working with to try and get some of these inmates that are the skill sets that they need.
Moving out and maybe hiring them.
Hire them, and so it's a continuation of what we need to be doing to hopefully reduce some of our prison population and create a more functional system so that these men and women graduating have some skill sets.
Absolutely, no question about it.
So what are some of the other, we talked a little bit about the textile operation, which
sure.
does very, very good. Now when I was talking with, again, the director, they were bringing up the standpoint of what you do with Habitat for Humanity. And
Sure.
in Traverse City, several years ago, we had, the National Governor's Conference.
That's correct,
And
summer meeting.
You guys did a
That was
Habitat
wild.
house.
Yeah, that was great. It's the Prison Bill program, and I've been fortunate to be a part of that from its inception. And actually, it started as a pilot project in '98, '99.
Okay.
And the intent was to get inmates working with Habitat for Humanity to build the walls. It's It's evolved now into 20 correctional facilities around the state,
Wow.
providing services in either horticulture or landscaping. We have a significant distribution center in Jackson,
Okay.
which is, they're not quite 6 prisons you'd indicated,
Right.
but it's less than that. But Parnell is one of those facilities, and major horticulture distribution center there. And then our inmates inside, shipping them out, build cabinetry, wall panels.
Right.
We provide sheds. We provide, actually, we've got, I don't know if any other correctional system in the country, we've got 2 prisons, Kinross and our Saginaw Correctional Facility, which is actually regulated through Bureau of Construction Codes. It's a pre-manufactured housing entity.
Really?
We can manufacture, actually it's a stick build with our inmates, and it goes out with a state seal of approval through the Bureau of Construction
cool.
Code, so it's really unique. But over this period of time, there have been more than 2,000 Habitat homes, Habitat families going into those areas. And as you indicated, the National Governors Association held a summer meeting, and we actually built a house in the parking lot of the
Right.
Grand Traverse Resort. You were a part of that whole great effort, and Grand Traverse is a great example of what they're doing up there.
Well, it was interesting because we were there and had the opportunity to meet a variety of different
Sure,
governors
absolutely.
on a Sunday morning, and so
I think you distributed some cutting boards, if I
yeah,
recall.
it was really it
Yeah.
was wonderful. I
Yeah.
was very impressed. And, you know, the vice presidential nominee, the governor from Alaska was there,
Oh.
and had an opportunity to meet her for the first time. And what a privilege. I mean, I think that that showed me, you know, how much in the forefront our prison organization is on this. Because when I was talking with the first lady of, I think it was Maryland, one of the East Coast states, they were just so impressed because, you know, you guys had sort of already done, if I remember correctly, the frames.
We did all the exterior and interior wall
Right.
panels,
Right.
and we actually did the cabinetry.
Right.
And a lot of that cabinetry actually was built from ashwood. I'd asked the DNR to ship some of their ashwood to our Saginaw facility. We milled that down, and those ashwood came from those trees that were felled with the ash borer disease.
Oh yeah.
So we saved them money using that wood, recycle it, and now it's someone
Wow.
in Traverse
Yeah.
has a home built with those. So it is unique. Actually, we've had a number of states call us looking to say, hey, how did you do what you did?
Right. It's
And
very,
our frontlines folks are
right.
great.
And it's the entrepreneurial. You know, if you take a look at sort of where the director wants to take the department
Absolutely.
and sort of the way that these small entrepreneurs that are in these different areas. I mean, you know, it's amazing how passionate our staff is on being able to come up with ways to utilize prisoners
Our resources and our
and
prisoners.
use our resources.
Because it's a difficult environment,
Right.
say the least.
I mean,
And,
it's
and so
we're facing some major challenges in our state.
we are facing. But that prison build program, our industries and our
Right.
education,
Okay, so besides the industries, you
sure.
know, we talked a little bit about the cut and sewing,
Yep.
but don't you have like anything from knitting machines to you've got
well, we got old looms.
right, you know, looms, and I
Yeah,
saw those. and
absolutely.
those are down in Jackson, but don't you make some chemicals or do some other things?
We do.
too?
We have a janitorial manufacturing operation. We make soaps and items, and actually moving that from formerly from our Scott facility to our Ryan facility in Detroit, and soaps, antibacterial soaps, and detergents and things of that nature. And they work in a factory setting, under very significantly safe conditions, and manufacture those items, and we provide those.
And do you sell those to other prisoners or prisons? Or
We do sell them to other prisons.
Yeah.
We sell them maybe to school systems,
Okay.
to any of those IRS 501c3
Threes.
nonprofit
Okay.
organizations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got that. Now the other thing that's been very impressive is your jail crews that go out and work on the
Public
communities.
Works? Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that when I talk to the people up in Sault Ste. Marie, Chippewa County, Mackinac County, the amount of trail work that they do.
Sure.
And I know in Grand Traverse County on what they've done on the Boardman Lake. How does that work?
Well, and it's probably been tapered back a little over
Sure.
years in terms of cost, but it certainly helps out municipalities where they can have a crew go out and they're actually helping to police an area in terms of cleaning up.
Right.
And they may work in the national parks. Our
State
parks.
But actually,
Absolutely.
I think if I remember correctly, you know, we had
National parks? Sure.
the program over in Leelanau County, and I vaguely remember that they had done some work over in that area too.